Equality Legislative Advisor.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure and privilege to be with all of you tonight. I have been asked to inform all of you about the current anti-immigration legislation being put forward within the Oklahoma legislature. The bills we are watching are bills like Senate Bill 502, which would allow for the warrantless arrest of any person who a policing agency believes to have an order of removal or is here without having first registered with the federal government. Or Senate Bill 573, which would force municipal police departments to enforce federal immigration laws. Both of these bills could lead to widespread ethnic and racial profiling of any person based on little more than the color of their skin or their accent. There are other bills, such as Senate Bill 400, that seeks to block our dreamers from resident tuition for college. A bill that would have far-reaching consequences not only for dreamers, but also for the state in general. It does so by requiring a grandparent living within the state of Oklahoma who is a citizen and has filed a tax return with the Oklahoma Tax Commission for the last 10 years prior to any such application for state college. Lastly, Senate Bill 162, though not directly intent, would require any person seeking a GED to take and pass the United States citizenship test as administered by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services.
Wow.
The bill is called the Oklahoma Civics Education Initiative Act. And while all people of the U.S. should have a civics education, the idea of intermingling the USCIS in the process will likely lead many foreign-born students away from taking the GED test. These bills are not just an affront to immigrant and minority communities, but to any person who truly believes that America is a land of opportunity and righteousness that we have always believed it is. To people of equality and fairness, we must carefully watch and adamantly disapprove of these bills. We must talk to our elected officials on the phone and in person. We must write them letters, and we must encourage them to know us, their people. Before we move on, there is one bill being introduced that is set to help immigrant communities. That bill is House Bill 1258. It would allow the issuance of a driver's license without regard of citizenship status. Far too many times I have seen the reason of arrest cited as no driver's license. And that lack of a driver's license often turns into a person being put under ICE detainment. This bill could protect numerous people of the immigrant community in more ways than just allowing them to drive. I want to now direct my words to our current political climate in the U.S. In the passing of days, we have seen policies put forward to build a massive wall along our southern border. We have heard of policies coming to ban refugees, to remove women's rights to reproductive justice, to register or refuse people from nations of predominantly Muslim faith. We have seen a reauthorization of the Keystone XL and the Dakota Access Pipeline, only days before a pipeline gushed diesel from an underground leak. We have seen federal agencies be deprived of one of their most important functions, to serve and inform the people. We have been told that our journalists are liars and should keep their mouths shut. That what our eyes and our ears are seeing and hearing is not reality. That we should be told by our government what to believe and accept it without question. There is a wedge being driven by ignorance and oppression that America, the most heavily armed nation in the world, should close itself from the rest of the world. They want us to believe that our immigrant brothers and sisters are so much different than ourselves, all while forgetting how this nation ever came to be, or the convictions to which we have so long held. They want us to believe that the path to citizenship is one that is easily traveled and is done so without oppression or incident. They want us to neglect the understanding that the path to citizenship requires money, sponsorship, work, and time. And let's not forget that more and more rules and laws are being created to make this path all the much harder to walk. From 287G programs to a lack of opportunity to obtain the most basic of privileges that would mitigate one of the largest reasons for ICE detainment within Tulsa, a driver's license. The wedge gets driven all while America gains more from their hard work and unrefunded taxes. A wedge being driven by a lack of understanding that refugees aren't just simply brought from their country of origin and placed in the U.S., but they are vetted for years before they manage to make their way here. And once here, they're still under supervision. We are told to disenfranchise them, while not realizing some of the greatest success our nation has ever had has come from both immigrants and refugees. American exceptionalism would not exist without them. There's a wedge being driven to pit fear against religion. Many have been told that with Muslim people will come Sharia law. But these same people forget that America is a nation of law, not predicated upon religion. They forget this all while trying to intermingle their own religious point of view into law. Religion is not our oppressor. Those who use it to minimize us and wedge us apart are. There is a wedge being driven on the basis of zealotry and gender, that women shouldn't be allowed to make decisions about their reproductive health, that they don't deserve equal pay for equal work, that they shouldn't be allowed to dress or fashion themselves as they see fit, that holding to any belief of feminism is inconsistent with our societal norms, all while forgetting that without a challenge to the societal norms, women wouldn't even